Hey everyone, this is a bonus Q&A episode. I try and answer questions live every Thursday. You can sign up to come to my free live Q&A at schoolforthedogs.com/Q&A, and you will see the next one I'm doing. I then am trying to take recordings of those Q&As and post them here to the podcast feed. If you have a question, you can email me directly, Annie at School for the Dogs. You can also go to anchor.fm/dogs and record your question there. Thanks for being here. So I am going to be answering some questions. I have at least one that's on my agenda. I have, hi, Lily. Hi, Yolanta. But I think I'm probably going to keep this pretty short because I'm not feeling great. But I took an aspirin, and I had a drink. and I have another drink here that I'm sipping. So this isn't a drinking problem I have. It's a drinking solution. Lily, where are you joining from? Yolanta, as we know, is in the borough of Staten Island. Yolanta, I'm curious if you saw that movie. Yolanta, I'm curious if you, last week we talked about you paying your neighbor to help you. I'm curious how that worked out. And I'm curious if you saw the movie of Staten Island. Not the movie of, the movie The King of Staten Island. Because I thought it was kind of like a sweet ode to Staten Island. But then I wondered how actual Staten Island people felt. Oh, Lily is in Kips Bay. Well, then we are neighbors. Okay, Lily, since you're here and you've already asked me a question, let's start with you. Sorry, people trying to join. So Lily asked, my puppy is 6 months and hasn't learned how to pee with his legs standing up. Will he ever learn? Great question. I don't know. Some dogs are always going to prefer peeing in a squat. My dog sometimes squats, sometimes lifts his leg. Some female dogs prefer lifting their leg to squatting. I think there will probably be a day where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he'll lift his leg and you'll feel very proud, but I wouldn't worry about it. I think that one of the reasons, and I don't think I'm making this up. I think I think I've read about this, but I think one of the reasons we think dogs lift their leg is so that they appear bigger. Isn't that interesting? One reason probably why little dogs have like big ferocious barks is because they want dogs that are far away to think they're bigger than they are. And one way to make dogs who might never meet you think that you're more ferocious and should be treated with respect is if they smell you and they smell your pee way up there. I should also apologize. My husband is also on a call right now for work. He is helping college kids get into helping wealthy kids get into expensive colleges in the other room. So if you hear that in the background, apologies. I wouldn't worry if he isn't lifting his leg, but I'm curious if maybe he will. I don't remember when my dog started lifting his leg, but 6, 7, 8 months, it sounds like it might be happening. And then we have a question here that came in from Mary Jane, who is in Concepcion, Chile. She has a dog named Kenny, a mixed breed, about 30 pounds. And Mary Jane says, I am having trouble teaching my dog to wear a harness and collar. I put a plate with bits of chicken to lure her as soon as she puts her head through it, and the harness rests on her neck, but then she backs off. She is very touch sensitive. We've been 4 months together. And just a month ago, she allowed me to pet and touch her across her body. She neither likes it when my hand rests on that spot of her neck. So, I like dog training solutions that are as easy as possible. And my first suggestion here to solve this problem is to keep her harness and collar on, so that you're not having to worry about taking it. You're not having to worry about taking it on and off. And also, if it's on her, she's going to become more accustomed to it. Or at least keep one of those things on if you're talking about both a harness and a collar. But, we like to teach dogs to do a touch, like whether they're touching a hand or like a target stick. And often we use that to lure the dog through something like a harness. Now, it sounds like you're saying she's quite touch sensitive. You could start with something harness-like, or sort of like some sort of loop that she has to put her head through. It could be the harness itself, but you just want her feeling really psyched about putting her head through that loop, even if there's not chicken on the other side. Like, that's one nice thing I think about teaching targeting, is that you're teaching a dog to do this action that is going to result in a reward, but it's not just like there's food, I'm following the food. Luring, I think, can cause dogs to do less active thinking. It's less of a choice, and it's more just like there's food in front of my face, I better just go towards it. Separating the food from the challenge is a way to give your dog a little bit more choice, a little bit more agency. So I suggest taking a step back, keep the stuff on her so you're not having to worry about getting it on and off, and so that she can get used to it, or at the very least put it on her before you're going to feed her a meal, or before she's going to do something enjoyable, so she can associate wearing it with like good food, good experience, et cetera, et cetera. And then work at teaching her to put her head through something, whether that's a harness or just a loop of fabric, or whatever, by having her target your hand or some kind of target stick. You could just use like a back scratcher or a pencil even. And then, you're going to click or say the word yes or whatever when she touches that thing, and then give her the treat. So it becomes more of a behavior that you're actively teaching her, rather than an action that you're just luring her to do. Mary Jane, I don't know if Mary Jane is in here. I like the name Mary Jane. My name is Anna Jane, so I'm partial to double barrel names with Jane. Rhonda, my dear good friend, is here. Rhonda, do you want to come on and chat about this? Press the speak button. Rhonda has a new puppy named Bowie, who I was lucky enough to meet last weekend. Bowie is a red teddy poodle, about 9 months old, and 9 pounds or something like that. Tiny. And Rhonda says that Bowie's been peeing and pooping in the house all day because of the rain. And Rhonda. Letting Rhonda in. Yeah, Bowie is so sweet. I have a soft spot for all poodle dogs. Amos, you want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Rhonda. Let's see.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, Amos isn't feeling well, but we're both not feeling well. Say hi, buddy.
Oh, no.
Say hi.
Why won't it open?
Hi.
I want to share my screen.
I can hear you, but I don't.
Yeah, I can see you. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. We'll not be able to record the context. I don't want to do that.
Just I can hear you.
Anyway, you can hear me. Okay. So anyway, sorry, let me get out of this thing. So Bowie is, as you said, he's 9 weeks old and he's super cute. 9 weeks. Yeah, right? 9 weeks, almost 10 weeks. I have him here, so I was hoping to show you, but I can't. But okay, so he's been like really good about going to the potty, like for the most part. Like we probably have one accident a day, but he's been really good at night. We wake him up. He wakes up once a night. We take him out and we take him outside. We live in a house. We're in the suburbs. And, we sometimes have a little miss, but he's been good, but we take him out a lot. Like because I've got 2 kids, so he's probably out all the time. And, oh, here I am. Hi. Here's Bowie.
Oh.
Hey, Bowie.
Your brethren.
So today, so it's been raining all week and he's been good outside in the rain. Like the first day, like it was kind of raining. He kind of got nervous about the water, but then he was kind of just drinking it. He thought it was really fun to just lick the water. But then today is really cold and hard rain. And he just was freaked out, wouldn't go out, would just go right back to the door. So then we kind of got him treats and we would try to, praise him with treats. And then we got him under the table in the backyard and we would give him treats and then he would sort of wander around the table. And then he got a little confident where he was kind of exploring a little bit, but he just won't go. And so he's had just 12 accidents today. And then he just pooped in the house and he was very upset. And then, so I don't really want to use a Weewee pad because one, I'd have to train him to go on the Weewee pad because he's never used it. And then we've been good. So my son suggested that we move the back deck table to the door, the side door. So it's just right outside the door. So then he can go under the table and then he can just be under the table. So that was and my husband suggested that we have him go in the garage, but that's kind of far away. He has to walk through the rain across the backyard and it's really cold and raw. But we basically went through, I can't even count how many times he peed, like full bladder, just like everything.
Okay, so I am on this. Oh, Bowie, you could pee all over me, whatever you want, man. I bet you have the cutest poops.
They're very little.
They're very little poops. You're so cute. Oh, I think Theo's idea is a totally good one.
Okay.
Bring that over in the doorway with him. So even if he's not peeing and pooping, because you got to remember, he's only been with you for 10 days, and
right.
every day is full of incredibly new and potentially scary things. So for a 9-week-old puppy to be peeing and pooping a little bit inside because he's scared to go out in the rain, to me is totally normal, because just going outside at all without his mom and other puppies being around is relatively new, and
right.
being in your house is relatively new, and the sounds of being near a street are relatively new. There's so much that's new to this little guy that I would just give him a break. Now, that does not mean let him pee and poop all over your house, but I think it's one reason why we tend to recommend using crates is because when a dog is in a crate, he's not also going to be peeing and pooping all over the place.
Right.
If you're not using a crate, you can have him, in a bag on you, carry him in a bag around the house, or
right. And we did crate him a lot.
Right.
We've been crating him a lot today, more than normal.
Right. And then when you take him out of the crate or you take him out of the bag, then you have an opportunity right away to let him go where you want him to go. And I don't think it's a bad idea to teach him. Sometimes you go on a Weewee pad when there's a Weewee pad down, especially because he's a small dog and you're very likely going to want to travel with him.
Okay.
And you might end up on a plane ride where you need to, put a Weewee pad down in the airport or put it in the, airplane bathroom. So how do you might find that you're staying in a high-rise building at a friend's house, and it's a pain to get outside, you know, and you're just going to teach him to go on a wee pad the same way that you're teaching him to go outside by putting him there when you're pretty sure he has to go. And that's why it's so important to be putting him in a crate and carrying him and doing all these things where you're not really giving him an opportunity to go, so that, you know, you're kind of like, sure, like, I think this is a bathroom moment. And then, you know, put it like in a corner somewhere where you can kind of corner him into that spot at those moments when you think he needs to go. And then the pee-pee pad or wee pad or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, you can just use newspaper. You don't have to use pee pad. That's one of the uses still for newspaper.
Okay.
Modern media has not replaced the need for.
So yeah, because weirdly is he doesn't like the wee pad. Like we have one in the car that we had, you know, when we first got him, and he gets really stressed like on it. And then once we put him in we put the wee pad once in his crate one of his first nights, because we were just like, I don't know, not worried. And he refused to go in the crate until we took it out. Like he wouldn't step on it. Like he's kind of weird. I don't know what it is.
Try
like
it again. I don't worry. I mean, I wouldn't put it in
just one time thing.
I would just like find some corner in your house where you can kind of like use your bodies to roughly keep him in that general area, or like arrange the furniture so that not alone, like you should basically be there with him, not on the wee pad, but I'm picturing, you know, like you have it in a corner and then there's like maybe like 2 feet perimeter on 2 sides, and you're standing there kind of just hanging out with him. But the point is, like, it's he should have to go in the moments when you're putting him.
Okay. So like sort of the times like when we take him outside to go to the bathroom, we put him in, do the same thing. Like, so put him by the wee pad instead. And then we can,
or you could try putting him under that table that's right outside. You know, you said he's okay under the table, and you know, Theo had that bright idea, and I think it's a good one. You could also like I said, drape the table with something so that like the outside world is a little bit less scary.
Okay.
And you know what you could also do, and I've known people who do this, is teach him to pee and poop in the bathtub. So put him in the bathtub instead of putting him in the especially because you guys have more than one bathroom.
I know. The glories of the suburbs.
The glories of the suburbs. You know, teach him, or you could even put the wee pad in the bathtub, and that might be a way to kind of like contain him a little bit, or put it in the shower, like if you have like a stand-up.
Okay.
Shower.
So put him in the bathroom, and then he can go there instead of us having to
tend to like to go on like soft
absorbent stuff.
Right. You know, you can also buy like fabric wee pads. Actually, I don't know why those aren't more popular. It seems like a really good idea to me, fabric wee pads, because you can reuse them, and
instead of the disposable ones, which are plastic into the atmosphere. No, that's a good idea. Okay, so we could try that. And then with the outside one,
you could also, I guess, try putting like a piece of fabric over the, well, you know, also if you have the table over the area right outside your door, it's going to get less wet there.
Right.
And David's idea that you could walk him to the garage is also not a bad idea, but I mean, just logistically it's a pain. It's right. Like, it's not really realistic. You could carry him there, but you know, you might as well use this as an opportunity to teach him to do some things that like actually could be useful in the future. Whereas like he's not going to learn to go out to the garage by himself. I mean, you don't have a fully fenced in yard, right?
Not yet.
No. So like teaching him to go in the garage isn't really going to.
No, once it's fenced in, he'll never be near it. But like, the other thing is, so with the wee pad, and I'm sorry taking up everybody's time, but with the wee pad, are we training him then to pee in the house?
Look, I mean, we usually don't suggest people use wee pads as much as, you know, you might, because like, why confuse a dog? If they have the opportunity to go in and out, then why would they choose to go out? Just focus on going outside. I think you should focus on having him go outside, but that doesn't mean there can't also be an indoor option.
Okay.
I wouldn't leave the wee pad out. I think that's where people make the mistake.
I see.
You can go on the wee pad when it's out, but it's not gonna be out all the time, you know?
Okay.
Then it becomes like a cue, like with people. Like I can go to the bathroom when there's a bathroom, but there's not always a bathroom, right?
Right. Because right now he thinks the whole house is his wee pad.
Right. So you might as well teach him like, when it's really bad outside and you're scared to go outside, or when whatever the situation is that you, dear puppy, don't understand.
Right.
And you see this white and blue square on the ground, you can go. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying, part of the reason we don't teach we don't want people to rely on that is because you don't want your dog to, every time they see something that's, square and squishy on the ground, they're like, oh, I'm going to go pee on that. So, that's why it's better to put like more money in the bank account of like going outside is where it's at.
Okay.
However, dogs can learn to pee and poop in more than one place.
Okay.
Just like us.
Just like us. So we could do like the Weewee pad maybe by the door, like the same spot where he goes to go outside. We could put the Weewee pad there. Would that be good?
Yeah. Again, I just wouldn't leave it out. I would put it out, corner him in, put it in some sort of cornered area, put him down there when you're pretty sure he has to go. When he does go, throw a party, bacon, turkey, pets and snuggles, all of it, just like you should also do outside.
Right. I'm doing that.
You can use your cue word if you want to use like a potty word. Go potty as he's starting to go or whatever one time. But again, the object itself is the cue. Oh, that object is down. Good things happen when I pee on that object. So if I see that object, maybe I'll go pee on it. I think he's a smart cookie. I think if you're starting at this age, also like 9 weeks old, like you're going to have some accidents. He doesn't have like, full grown up bladder control yet. He's still
right. And we've been having like one a day, which, and it would be like, I'd be like, oh, it looks like he's about to pee. And then, and then somebody would not.
Does he tend to go on like rugs or anything in particular?
No, he went on downstairs and basement. We pulled up all the rugs in the basement. So mostly we keep him in the basement and the kitchen, which are both all linoleum and vinyl. So there's no rugs. And so we don't let him into, he's gone once in Theo's room, which has a rug. And now he can't go in Theo's room anymore unless he's like carried. So we keep him out of all the rooms that have nice rugs.
I think all of that's really smart. And I think what you should do is, just not let him if you think there is pee or poop, use that house training log. Like if you think he has pee and poop inside of him, he should not be roaming around like free. You should bring him outside under that table. And if that's too much for him, then take him right away and put him on the Weewee pad. Do not put him on the Weewee pad though, and then take him outside, because if he's gone on the Weewee pad, we want that behavior to be like thoroughly reinforced. And if he has any fear at all about going outside, you don't want the going outside to follow, him doing the good thing of peeing and pooping. But in conjunction with putting down the Weewee pad, I would suggest like just spending some time with him, like with the door open while it's raining, sort of like with the kids, like hanging out with him near the open door, just so he can become accustomed to that. Feed him his dinner one piece at a time. It's like sitting on the stoop, or under the awning on your stoop kind of thing.
Okay. All right. We'll try to, although none of us really want to be out there either. But
it doesn't have to be outside. I just mean like somewhere where at least he's like,
we can hear it.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, use a clicker, you could like click every time he even looks outside and then give the treat.
Okay.
But that's right. If we start with criteria 0, like you can just start with, rewarding him for just being even near the outside.
Okay.
Anyway, he's so cute. I was so happy to meet him. So glad he came to playtime. Did you sign up for another one yet?
I think we should. Well, we have the next week. The kids have like the last 2, Thursday and Friday off, so we might come out for a couple times. But we were thinking maybe Sunday because the weather's supposed to be okay. But let me check. We haven't yet. But he does need a party. He's lonely. He goes bananas when he sees other dogs.
And touch base with Leo's people. They're in Jersey. And, I if you want to come into town on a day that we don't have a playtime, as a VIP in my life, I will see if we can arrange a custom puppy playtime for you.
He's like a little celebrity doggy.
He is.
He's so cute.
He's so like bittersweet being with him because he's a puppy, and Amos, who's an old man.
I know. But Amos doesn't pee and poop all over your house, so there's upsides.
He has other issues. Old man issues. All right, love you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
You.
Okay.
Send me some Bowie pictures. Let me know how this goes, and I'm going to answer one last question here.
Okay. And I'll log me out. Okay.
All right, one last question. Two questions. Lily, another one from Lily, who says, how do you mentally stimulate your dog when it's raining and they don't want to go outside? They just seem sad. Oh, I mean, that's a short question with, a possibly very long answer. But my short answer that I'm going to give while I'm drinking, drinking and dog training. Take nothing I say seriously. Although I always say, like, so much of dog training, I think, makes so much sense and is fun. And, like, you should be able to do a lot of it while you're drinking. But a lot of it should not be done while you're drinking also. How do you stimulate your dog? Oh, my God. There's so many ways that you could stimulate your dog. Lily, I mean, one reason I love teaching tricks is because it's stuff that you can do on a rainy day. Do in your apartment, since in New York City, most of our clients live in like small spaces with their dogs. We like to figure out, exercises we can come up with for our clients so that they can do fun things with like the 6-pack of beer they have in the fridge. I mean, not drinking it, but like making obstacle courses out of it, or, with like rolls of paper towel, broomsticks, folding chairs. Gotta, figure out how you can basically make an obstacle course in your house. That's kind of like what our bar core class is. Of course, also puzzle toys. I'm a big fan of all the different ways we can challenge our dogs during meal times. You can certainly make your own puzzle toys. The simplest is like getting a muffin tin and turning it upside down and sprinkling some treats on it. Of course, you're welcome to come to our store or storeforthedogs.com, where we have tons of different kinds of puzzle toys. Oh, and actually, I just put up a blog post, schoolforthedogs.com/blog, on how to make your own flirt pole, which you can make with things that you can get at the hardware store or that you might already have at home. And flirt poles are basically just really big cat toys for dogs that you can wield around, and they can chase after them. So that's a really great way to exercise your dog and to practice drop it and to practice sit. There's lots of fun ways that you can use to train and to exercise a dog inside. Last question. The other day from Yolanta, the other day was extremely stressful for me. I tried controlling my emotions while we went out for an evening walk, but Cody reacted to a dog walking on the other side of the street quite strongly. He's come a long way in his behavior training, but either I was distracted or didn't redirect him in time, or I really didn't think he would react to this dog from such a distance. I don't know if there's a way to hide. And I am going to say, I do have thoughts, but I think I got to go because the grandparents just returned the daughter. But I'm going to answer this question next week, and I'm actually going to have somebody on staff who has a reactive dog respond to this with some suggestions, because I think what you're experiencing is totally normal. And I think someone else other than me on staff will have a better answer. So I am copying and pasting your question to my staff to answer later. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Appreciate it. I'm coming, guys. Bye.